Damian Lewis, Guy Pearce, Anna Maxwell Martin, and it's all in a new spy drama from a brand new streaming service.
Could you please explain to me why you let the most dangerous Soviet penetration agent this country's ever known, Elliott, on your watch?
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, a channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name is Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who's been writing and talking about the media industry for more than 15 years. And today we have a brand new drama with some big names in it coming out of the UK. Damian Lewis, Guy Pearce, Anna Maxwell Martin, all famed for fantastic dramatic performances, and they're starring in A Spy Amongst Friends, which is a dramatisation of a non-fiction book by Ben Macintyre. Now, you may recognise the Ben Macintyre name. That's because he is the person who also wrote the source material of the recent show SAS Rogue Heroes, which was adapted by the Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight. If you want to know more about that show, then you can click on the link up there where there's a review of SAS Rogue Heroes. But today we're looking at a show that's got a very different feel to Rogue Heroes. This is a much more serious and slightly slower paced drama for you. That doesn't mean it's not good though. It's fair to say that there's a kind of premium plus feel to this series. Obviously you can see from the names involved in it, there's some big names for a TV show coming out of the UK. Also, it has a very premium feel on screen. It's very cinematic in its feel. And that's because it's the first show to come from ITVX, which is ITV UK commercial broadcaster's new streaming service. And of course, when you have a new streaming service, you need to have a big premium drama to launch with, and this is it.
The man I trusted most and my best friend was a Russian spy. Try to imagine how that might feel. You could say I'm not quite sure who to trust anymore.
Okay, so what's this one all about? Well, this is certainly not the first time that the story of the Cambridge spies has been told on television or indeed in film. It's a subject that has fascinated TV makers for a very long time, and with good reason, because people love espionage dramas, and the story of Kim Philby, the infamous double agent who was working for the Soviets and was outed in the 1960s, is a huge story and continues to be a fascinating tale. The show begins with it coming out that Philby has been a spy for more than 20 years for the Russians. And that means that the secret services need to try and keep this under control, keep this under wraps, and bring him in. The way that they think is best to do that and to extract a confession from him is to send an old friend of his and an old colleague, Nicholas Elliott, to go to Beirut, where Philby is, and to try to get that confession. Now, Elliott, who is played by Damian Lewis, seems not completely convinced about the allegations around Philby, and Philby, who's played by Guy Pearce, of course, is slightly ahead of the game. So it isn't quite as simple as you think for these two people to meet and for this to happen.
Who outside our small circle of friends have you ever revealed your real self to?
Do you think Philby was playing you from the very first moment that you met?
Not convinced that this is as simple as it seems, and in fact that there must be more beneath the surface, especially between the friendship of this pair. Lily Thomas, an MI5 agent played brilliantly by Anna Maxwell Martin, starts to investigate further. And then we start to see a story unfold, and layer upon layer of mystery, of intrigue and espionage starts to become clear. And this is where A Spy Among Friends really starts to come into its own as a TV show. It goes into peak storytelling mode, which is what you want from this kind of very crafted and very interestingly clever drama. This is a show that relies a lot on flashbacks to take us through the last few decades, to explore the relationships between the central characters, the friendships, how they've worked as colleagues, but also all of the things that were going on that perhaps they didn't always know were going on. If you're a fan of old school, slow-paced espionage spy drama, then this one is definitely a fresh take on an old subject. There's plenty of people walking around in bowler hats with umbrellas. There's people talking in what appear to be codes. There are all of the hallmarks of a great spy drama in this one. And added to that, there are some absolutely exceptional performances from a starry cast. Now, ITVX have certainly pulled out the stops to get Damian Lewis, to get Guy Pearce, and to get Anna Maxwell Martin together in this show. And the chemistry is fantastic.
To be clear, one of our own has done the unthinkable.
Questions are being asked, Kim. Friendship trumps ideology.
Tell me you'll make something of all this.
This is a show that does require some concentration and is a complex story, as you would expect. This is about spies, this is about lies, this is about people deceiving themselves and their governments. And you need to be listening and you need to be on your A game to stay with it. But if you do stay with it, it will reward you. And it's nice to sometimes see TV like this. Too much TV these days, I think, is made knowing that half of the audience are scrolling through Instagram on their phone. You can't do that while you're watching this because you won't know what's going on. It's worth putting your concentration into it because it's a show that has been well written, has been well crafted, and has these fantastic performances that do draw you into a world that feels like it's long forgotten. This kind of bridges the gap between the Second World War and where the 60s started to change pop culture forever, and it feels like a time that has been put into a capsule and brought alive on TV. I think it's good to see that ITVX have gone down this road. They've made a show that is a proper old school in-depth drama. They've got great characters, they've got great writing, they've got good source material, and they've just gone for it, and they've proudly put it on the screen in a way that feels very premium, as I said before. Hopefully this is a sign of more of the great drama that's going to come from ITVX, and we know that ITV have a reputation for making some fantastic drama over the years, and perhaps this new service is going to inspire them to make even more. We know that there are lots more dramas coming soon from ITVX too, so hopefully this is the start of many great shows coming from the service. You've got the likes of Litvinenko coming soon, which stars David Tennant. You have Without Sin, which stars Vicky McClure. That's a 4-part thriller, I believe. And then you have next year, early next year, Helena Bonham Carter in the Crossroads series around Noel Gordon called Nolly, which is written by Russell T Davies, who of course is now the showrunner of Doctor Who. Anyway, back to A Spy Among Friends, which I think is a show that you should give a go. If you want to give it a try, it's on ITVX now, which is completely free as a streaming service if you live in the UK. That's if you want adverts. If you don't want adverts, it does cost $5.99 a month, but you also get access to the massive archive of BritBox content as well, which is certainly worth looking into, especially as there is a 7-day free trial available. So go to ITVX and have a look at those options. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, and we'll see you again for more Screen OD videos very soon.